So you're waking up at 3 to 5 a.m. and perhaps this is a new phenomenon for you. Before your awakening, you may have noticed that perhaps you're sleeping in sometimes, and sometimes a lot, maybe even perhaps longer than we're happy to admit to other people. See, most of our problems in the world are created because we've come out of sync with nature, with life, and with the way that things are. As we become more in tune with life again, then you too will begin to notice that you're waking up between 3 and 5 a.m. It's essentially the cosmic alarm clock. I mean, at first it's startling, right? All of a sudden you wake up at these times and strange things are going on and you're left wondering, what on earth is happening to me? And it probably leads us to a deeper question, doesn't it? Is there a deeper meaning or significance to all of this? The simple answer is yes and no. See, if the ego's looking for a reason to feel special or superior in any way for being woken up by life, by your energies, then the answer is no. It doesn't have any deeper meaning or significance. However, if you've begun to notice that you're waking up at these times and you're curious to know why and how best to use these times to further yourself spiritually, then the answer is definitely yes. These times have a deep and meaningful significance for you. As it turns out, many spiritual traditions view waking up during this time as a potentially transformative experience. Now, one reason for this is that the hours between 3 to 5 a.m. are often associated with the energy of the divine or the spiritual realm. This is the time when many mystics and spiritual practitioners have reported having profound awakening experiences and also receiving divine inspiration or guidance. They're having visions or dreams or experiencing spiritual awakenings of sorts. In the yogic tradition, this time is known as Brahma Muhurta, or the sacred dawn, which I think's got quite a special sound to it. It's believed to be the most auspicious time for spiritual practices such as meditation, yoga, chanting, as the mind and the body are said to be most receptive to these practices during this time. But it's not just the yogic tradition that has this view. In Chinese culture, the hours between 3 to 5 a.m. are associated with the element of wood, which is associated with new beginnings and growth. Waking up during this time is thought to be a sign of new opportunities and a fresh start. And even in the Islamic tradition, the hours between 3 to 5 a.m. are known as pre-dawn time, or al-sahur. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's a time for spiritual contemplation and connection with God, or that inner guru. 'Cause sometimes we can get weird about that word God, can't we? It's just that inner creative force that's manifested worlds and galaxies, and it's time for our connection with that in these moments. And as well, in the Islamic tradition, this is a time for performing good deeds and making sincere intentions for the day ahead. So what does any of this mean for you? Well, you're probably noticing you're waking up at this time, and that's cool. But if you go back to sleep, then what relevance does this have? Nothing. But if you are sensitive to energy, which if you're being woken up at 3 to 5 a.m. in the morning, every morning, by this energy, then you certainly are. Now, you will notice that there is a richness to this time, an auspiciousness to this time. And practicing your sadhana, your daily spiritual practices, to bring about the highest aliveness of energy and highest intensity of energy in the system, so that you can begin shifting the trajectory of your life, practicing these practices at this time will make them the most potent. You're aligning your energy with the cosmic creative force, or in a more down-to-earth way. You're aligning with nature's cycles. You're getting into the rhythm of life. So this is time to do your alignment practices, your sadhana. See, back in the day when radios were the hype, if I'm showing my age now, if you wanted to listen to a certain program, you had to tune your radio to a certain frequency to pick up that program, isn't it? Well, that's all that life is asking of you here. Tune your apparatus, the body, into the frequency of the universe. Pretty simple. A great sage and poet called Rumi, you may have heard of him, once said this: The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. So at the very minimum, if life wakes you up at this time, at least create a beautiful intention for how you want to be in this world, how you want to be in this day. What are you manifesting for yourself as yourself? You're woken up by the creative force of life, and therefore, because you're in alignment, because you've done that, these practices, you're in alignment with life, you're in alignment with that creative power. You are in essence one with it, and that's really all that yoga is trying to teach you. Yoga really means union, and no, yoga is not just physical postures. 99% of the world don't even know what real yoga is, and they certainly aren't practicing it. You're in alignment with the creative force that created worlds and galaxies, and nothing is more powerful than that. No, not even your governments or the big pharmaceutical companies are that powerful. See, if you're being backed up by this powerful force, then you may as well put it to good use and set your highest intention for what you want in this day, certainly more likely to manifest. On any ashram, for example, or temple that you visited and spent some time in India on an ashram, the starting time for your practices is at these times, 3 to 5 a.m. Now this doesn't tend to fit well with the Western mind's sensibilities. We're used to like lay-ins and bed and breakfast, isn't it? You know, breakfast in bed. And see, there's nothing wrong with any of that, but if you want to create something truly special and incredible with your limited time here that you have as a physical being, and do it with the full force of that creative life energy behind you, then you've got to connect with that universal energy and be in alignment with it, isn't it? And use it to start creating what you want in this world. So the universe is not quite as you thought it was. Well then, you'd better start rearranging your beliefs, because you certainly can't rearrange the universe. So if you're finding yourself waking up during these hours, don't be alarmed. Excuse the pun. It could be a sign that the universe is trying to communicate to you, or that you're being called to embark on your spiritual path, or that it's time for your sadhana. Lots of love. Namaste.